Hi, welcome back again. At this point, I have to assume either you're a sucker for punishment or you're actually finding these videos useful. I hope the latter is true. Apps and websites is our third piece of the puzzle we're going to look at. Now, apps on Facebook are something that's really evolving at a fast pace and something that's very exciting and has lots of opportunity for usage in the classroom, I think. Some apps that I've already looked at and I'll discuss in later posts are things like document sharing and the such. I think there's a lot of potential. However, we want to be very cautious when we're using students and student information that, again, we keep our settings locked up and we help our students to keep their settings locked up as well. This section contains some information about websites and a new feature called personalization, which we'll get into. So let's jump through the rabbit hole here. All right, apps you use. Now at this point, I have no apps installed on Arbor Field's Facebook website. But if you did and you went into edit settings, what it would do is it would have a list of all of your apps as well as some options for them. So this is going to allow them to access things like your posts, your personal information, and all that. I really can't give you a blanket advice here for your app settings. It's going to be individual, and you just have to be careful. Remember that you're not wanting to let any of this information out public if you can. So you're going to want to look at your app's terms of use and privacy statements before you're installing or using any apps. Apps may want to access files and the such. And again, there's really no blanket statement there. You're really just going to have to look at the app itself and get some information. And as we start finding apps that work, we will post them to the blog showing you how they can be used. And at that time, we'll highlight any privacy concerns. So check back for any apps that might get posted. And I'll try and always use the same format of posting how the app works, where I think it has some potential, and then ending with some privacy concerns. How people bring information into the apps that they use. What this means is that certain people who have access to your information, and of course we've set that to be only friends, they may use apps, and the most typical ones are those annoying games which pop up all the time. I'm going to strongly encourage my students not to use those games, but again, we don't want to be overly restrictive. And what we can do is we can deal with this on our end, and we can have our students deal with that on their end. When you open this up, you're going to get a whole lot of check boxes. Anything you check here will be things that apps can access. So you may have noticed that I have unchecked everything. That would be what I would suggest. What that's going to do is if someone tries to link you to an app, all you're going to get is those annoying app updates, which in a later post we'll show you how to get rid of. But if you uncheck all of them, that means they don't have access to any of your information. And that's the way you want it. So you're going to have to save your changes and be done. Instant personalization is really neat. However, I don't think it has a lot of use for what we want right now. Instant personalization will allow you to go into websites, and I encourage you when you're here to watch the video. It's really neat. When you go to a website, and one of the examples they use is Rotten Tomato, what it's going to do is it's going to link, if you allow it, and we're not going to allow it, but if you allowed it, it's going to link directly into your Facebook account, grab some of that personal information you've entered, and personalize your experience on the website for you. Sounds great. Be a neat experience. Problem is they're also going to save that information and they're going to advertise to you accordingly. One of the things I talked about in an earlier blog post is we need to protect our students from not only the nefarious and evildoers out there, but also those people who just want to separate our students from their money. So we're going to want to leave this alone for right now, and we're just going to turn it off, right? So where it says enable, we're going to uncheck that and we're going to take it off. We don't want to enable instant personalization. We're going to leave that turned off. And I'm going to insist that my students do the same. I can't control what those other websites are doing, so I need to have that turned off for now. The final one is public search. If someone Googles your name, they're going to get your Facebook account if this is enabled. That's why we're going to leave it unchecked, or we're going to uncheck it if it is enabled. So you're going to need that to be unchecked. What that'll do is that means if somebody Googles you, they are not going to find your Facebook page, and we're going to want to insist our students do that as well. That way we're going to protect that privacy just another way. If that is checked, if I were to Google search you, I am going to find your Facebook profile. All right, that brings us to the end of apps, games, and websites, and the end of this video.